What's going on guys, welcome back to another Redmi Note 5 Pro video, and in today's video I'm going to show you a Redmi Note 5 Pro running OnePlus 5's OxygenOS Oreo. So as you can see over here, it's a DSSI ported from a OnePlus 5 running Android Oreo, cause OnePlus 5 and 5T just received Treble project on the stable versions of their software, and it's just amazing how it runs on a Redmi Note 5 Pro, which is like far away from the processor series. And it's very amazing to see a device which was initially not even like considered for Treble project receives a Treble project, then the whole DSSI just gets ported to another phone like with almost everything working, which is just amazing. Hats off to the developers, cause OxygenOS was one of the most asked projects for the Redmi Note 5 Pro and the Redmi Note 4. Like, people just wouldn't stop whining about it. I made a video on Poco F1 where it was a OnePlus 6 image made into a complete GSI, and I just put it onto a Poco phone F1, and all comments were about Redmi Note 5 Pro. Well, developers did take it into consideration, even though it was completely impossible in many people's eyes, but this is amazing. So it's not completely stable. Me myself, Dewang Rekar, don't actually recommend to use this as your daily driver, but if any YouTuber says there are no bugs, OxygenOS bug fixes, don't believe, cause developers did test it for months on this thing, cause it's based on Oreo. It's much stabler than the OnePlus 6, which was based on Android Pie, even though Android Pie is made like that, like the DSSI thing. If you don't know what DSSI is, a device specific system image. Yeah, a system image which is made for a specific phone now can be ported to another phones thanks to Treble. So yeah, the bugs are kinda unfixable at this point in time, but we'll surely see when people get it into their hands. And let's just take a look. So this is again OxygenOS 5.1.6, kinda the latest. I mean, now the OxygenOS is on Pi, but yeah, this is kinda the thing which was shipped with OnePlus 6, so yeah, pretty latest. And as you can see, this is your home screen, looks extremely beautiful on the Note 5 Pro. Kinda reminds me of OnePlus 5T and my 5, which I sold. But on the left you do get shelf, there are no lags at all. As you can see, it's butter smooth. Then again, let's just go to the shelf. Again, we have quite a lot of apps over here. So as you guys told me, just to Antutu benchmark, and yet this is such a special ROM. I didn't use any kind of custom kernels over here. This is just the stock kernel which comes with the patched vendor, and these are the Antutu benchmarks. So yeah, quite low when compared to even the stock MIUI 10. So even though the performance might seem not even slower than the stock ROM, but it is actually slower. But people have actually tested while charging that the PUBG on HD runs extremely butter smooth with 60 FPS. Then let's just take a look around the app. So basically on the home screen you do get messages, phone app, and they do open like Snapdragon 800 series phones like 835 or 845. Like, just tap app, opens. Again, messages have like the optimization of OxygenOS is just mind blowing. Camera, they just open so freaking quick. Calculator, I mean, calculator is not that heavy. Then again you have calendar, again MI camera, we will talk about later on. Then you have clock. Again, the apps look very minimalistic. I mean, the UI is very plush and easier on the eyes. Sure, it is changed right now, like you do get bigger buttons with text in it, which is very nice. Then you have OnePlus community, contacts, file manager. Again, file manager is quite nice. You get all the features from standard MI file manager that has to. You have lockbox, which is great. Well, pretty good on the OnePlus's part, but let's just go to the settings. So as you can see, again, the app opening times are just mind-blowing. Scrolling down, you do have some features over here. Now, as this is ported from a OnePlus 5, not 5T, I don't know what's wrong with the developer, but you don't get any kind of additional navbar support. So as you can see, navbar is there, but the colors just completely mess up, and you don't get any kind of gestures over here. Then going to the gestures, you basically get your double tap to wake and just your screen of gestures, which do work pretty nice. Then you have status bar font, nothing a lot. You get just OnePlus Slate font and stuff. Scrolling down, you have display. Again, in display, not a lot has been working over here, such as the screen calibration, reading mode, night mode. Nothing is working. You have ambient display, not tested. Going to the theme, you do get a lighter theme over here, which is kind of now shift to the OnePlus 6T. As you can see, it looks quite nice. You can go to the accent colors and just pick out anything. Now, as I told you, this is kind of the latest OxygenOS, but I can't seem to see like the RGB controller for the themes, which is kind of old. Then going to the battery, well, if you're looking forward to use this as a daily driver, let me just tell you, once you insert a SIM card into this thing, the battery life is just utter shit. I've been not doing like almost anything on this phone, and this phone like drained from 44 to 33 in like no time. Going to the security and lock screen, fingerprint scanner does work and it's extremely fast. But talking about the face unlock, well, the face unlock does actually register your face, but it just doesn't detect. Like, I'm facing dead into the camera, but it still doesn't recognize, as you can see. So you can just tap the fingerprint scanner and it's extremely quick. Like, just tap it, there you go. Tap it, there you go. You have system updates, no use at all. Going to the about phone, as you can see, OxygenOS version 5.1.6, 4 gigs of RAM, Android version 8.1.0, pretty latest. And then that's just it. So going to the UI, as you can see, you do get your normal status bar from the Android Nougat style. It doesn't remind me of Oreo cause there is no gradient over here. Again, you get quite a lot of toggles over here. Then your power menu, I mean, it's not that far away from stock Android. But let's just talk about the bugs now. So starting with the camera. Camera barely keeps up like for 1 to 2 seconds. Well, I was able to edit the cache itself, and I did make it like open up the portrait mode, making the front camera working with the flash on. But once I just cleared the data and I wasn't able to get it back again. I did the same thing like editing the cache and stuff, but no luck at all. I'm just able to keep it up. Like some people are not even getting to keep it up like for a second. It just gets like unknown error. But I somehow made it to just stay for right there. Even though it probably does nothing, like literally nothing, the camera just opens up. So good news is you can't actually use your Google camera, as this is OxygenOS. There are some library issues. Why my Google Play just opened up? There is some lib issues with it. So you can actually use your MI2 camera, which is fully working, but sadly there is no portrait mode over here, as you can see. And that's pretty much it for the OxygenOS Oreo on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now the installation for this is extremely simple. Now I'm not going to do a step-by-step like unlocking your bootloader, installing a custom recovery. So I'm just going to show you through the twerp. Now you can find like 1000 videos on how to install a custom recovery on your Note 5 Pro. Just search for that. Go to the recovery by pressing power and volume up at the same time. Once you are into the recovery, go to wipe. Add one swipe, Dalvik, cache, data, system vendor. No need of internal storage, but if the data doesn't get wiped, you do have to factory reset your phone, which is right here. Format data, type in yes, and you are good to go. Then just go to install, scroll down, search for your ROM, add more zips, MIUI camera, confirm to flash. And the device is finally back up, and I will just completely quickly set it up. But until then, if the device just doesn't boot for the first time for like almost 5 to 8 minutes, just force reboot it by holding your power button for 10 to 15 seconds and you must be okay. Now once you're onto the home screen, just go to the camera app info, permissions, and as you can see already everything is granted. But if anything is not granted over here, just grant all the permissions and you would be okay with the MI camera. Now for the navbar, again as I told you before, just go to the settings, buttons, on-screen navigation bar. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it on how you can turn your Redmi Note 5 Pro into OnePlus 6. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you haven't already subscribed, just do it right now, cause I would be uploading a lot more content into the upcoming days with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, starting with tomorrow Asus Zenfone Max port, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.